Hi guys.
Welcome to December 2025 SAT test analysis, and let's start with English. So English, what is the common thing that we saw in module 1 this time was the whole pattern. If I start with particular question types, vocabulary questions were actually good for us on the easier to moderate level side. Then comes all the other reading questions, which were also almost moderate, just a couple of tough questions, nothing very different. And then we come to grammar questions. It was again punctuation and subject-verb agreement based. I felt there were a lot of subject-verb agreement questions in this particular attempt, more than punctuations in some of the tests that we have observed. Then comes transitions and student notes. Again, there was a bit of discrepancy. I felt that student notes questions were much higher compared to transitions 1, but module 1 was a cakewalk. Moving on to module 2, it was on moderate to hard level. We saw the vocabulary questions were better than what they were in module 1, but not the hardest vocabulary questions that I've seen throughout the year. Coming to reading questions, again, it was well distributed. We saw only, I think, one CTC question, which is the cross-text connection question. Moving on to grammar, again, same distribution. Punctuation questions some were really good, and some participle questions were again visible in the subject-verb agreement questions. Transitions in module 2 was much more balanced compared to the module 1, and all in all, I would say it was a good test. You did find some, I'm sure, repeated questions, at least 5 to 6 in module 1 and 3 to 4 in module 2. So that's all for English, and we will move on to math.
Before we move on to math, I just wanted to thank you for such a detailed analysis. But overall, was there any interesting part in this attempt as compared to all the other ones that have happened so far?
Yes, a couple of interesting things. First is the level of vocabulary. In the past 2-3 attempts, we have been seeing that vocabulary have been exceptionally hard. In this one, it didn't happen. So yes, that was a sigh of relief. Secondly, I found the function of the underlined portion questions very much. So there were like 3 to 4 in module 1 and again 3 to 4 in module 2. Usually you see just a couple of them in each. So almost double from what they were in any other attempt. Rest, it was more or less the same.
Okay, so I think College Board is just trying new things with every attempt. And in math also, it has been the same. I'd say, first of all, let's list down all the new things, or at least not new, but rare things. For example, this time we saw questions related to input-output of functions, but with complicated function structure. For example, we had rational functions tested this time, which is not entirely new, but pretty rare. We also had quadratic modeling questions in which they gave you a huge model. You had to come up with your own equation and then find the final answer. Moving on to problem solving and data analysis, we had a research question. So the same survey and sampling kind of question, but it was a huge reading paragraph and you had to go through the whole detail in order to find out what's the best conclusion out of it. So again, not entirely new, but pretty rare to intimidate the students. When it comes to geometry, I'd say we had the same kind of question of radian change to degrees. Pretty easy. All the students who are good at radian degree, they will not take any time in doing this question. But there was one question which every student after the test mentioned about, which was a circle equation question, and this equation was expanded. So all these things were sort of new, or at least rare. When it comes to all the things that are that have stayed the same, I'd say the same percentage change questions have still come. The same hard question with a right triangle and a perpendicular to the hypotenuse has still come. So students who have done good amount of practice in the past papers, I think they will sail through the whole test in a pretty easy manner. When I rate the difficulty level of the December attempt when it comes to math, I'd say it's not that hard. Again, not as compared to the harder ones that we have seen in the past, but it was still a test where College Board tried to do new things, and I mean, overall the test difficulty was not that much. So
one question, yes, based on what you have analyzed, it was great. I think you did mention a lot of new things that were tested. So if there is one or maybe two things that you felt were harder in the new things, what would be that?
Yes. So out of all the things that I listed as new or rare, the harder questions would be the circle equation with an expanded form, because it's not very commonly asked in the test. And I'd also say the research question, I would count that as hard because it's easily intimidating to see such a question on SAT. So that was pretty much it for December SAT analysis for 2025. If you understood it better, well and good. If you have any further questions, leave us a comment and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much.